Know me from my past. A lot of people never really knew. I've always been smart. Yeah. I just had anger problems and I was displaced.
Preview. Icicle.
We're here in this thing with the one and only, the great Andrew Cantu. Talk about it, my guy.
Peace. What's going down?
Indeed, somebody's ready to cook with grease. If you don't know him, you definitely will. We're gonna get right to it. So for starters, man, we know you're an advocate for inmates and change. What were you doing before you got incarcerated? Before the change happened?
So before I got incarcerated, I was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I came from a broken home. My mama raised 3 kids by herself. I was raised in the gang life. Streets took me in early. I'm from the west side, San Antonio, Acme and Money Lane. My idols was pimps and drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Acme and Money Lane is a real street. Crown Homes. But first thing I saw was glitz and glam. So naturally, that's what I took in. My mama worked 3 jobs. I was 7 when my sisters was born, so yeah, I hopped out the porch around 9, and shoot, the gangs took me in, and it was over with. Fast forward.
And fast forward on that, what do you think that caused to make you, make the decisions you made earlier in your life?
No guidance, proper guidance. Like I said, I was the only man in the household, so, you know what I'm saying, I had to take a leadership role anywhere I best knew. And I tend to side with people that were more of going through the same things I was going through, like in high school and middle school. I didn't side with the jocks or the preps or they didn't seem like they was going through something. They had everything I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I started off as a tennis shoe hustler. And if you had it, I wanted it. And that's what it turned into. So, you know what I'm saying? I played sports. I love sports, basketball, football, track, all my life. Yeah. But I didn't get along with everybody. Not everybody could feel where I'm coming from. You know, they had things that I wanted, or they didn't understand why I wanted those things. So I sided with the people that wanted the same things that I wanted.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, then the switch up happened. So tell me this, like with the whole, thing about, and we've all heard this before, do you feel that there's a systematic pressure that sways young black men into these type of situations?
Systematic?
Yeah.
I think the system already did what it was supposed to do. I don't think there's no systematic now. I think I wrote a book called Self-Imposed Genocide. It was actually called Signature Change, but it was self-imposed.
You published it?
Yes.
Okay.
It was called Self-Imposed Genocide, Nature Change. And the self-imposed genocide was speaking on breaking the chains of psychological slavery. And now the key's already been turned in our backs. And we're just following a cycle that we impose on ourselves. Because we're not willing to go get the education. We're not willing to help our fellows. We rather look at each other as enemies or like crabs in a bucket and try to crawl ourselves out.
That whole mentality.
After that, I believe after so much time, we know what's going on. I'm not going to lie to you. There's more black people, more Mexicans, more at-risk children that are able to look at other people and bring them along. Now. Like, I see more people become more conscious, more woke than I've ever seen in my life. But
access to information.
It's there. The access to information is there. But for some reason, they don't want to grab nobody and be like, shh, wake up, sit down somewhere. Let me tell you something.
I'm glad you said that. I feel like with that, I think some people, and you can elaborate on what you think about it. I think some people use knowledge as a weapon instead of for what it should be. Like some people say, like you may read because you want to know more. Somebody else may say, I want to read, so when somebody talk to me, I'm going to just use all these big words and then I'm going to use it as a weapon. Because one thing I never respected is if you know something that I don't know, and if I sound ignorant, if you know it, give me the information. Lead me to the information. Drop a link. Tell me what book you found it in. A lot of people just say, do your research. You should know this stuff. Get woke. Like,
No
help me to get woke.
Exactly. And that's what it is. And ain't nothing wrong with what a wise person once told me, that everybody needs a mentor and someone that they're mentoring and someone that they're trying to bring up as a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so there's nothing wrong with making a person want it. You know, making a person fight for it. Because, you know, I don't want to waste my time on somebody that just don't want it. Like, I don't want to grab you and spend my time on you and you not using what I'm offering. But it's a double-edged sword. Because if you don't put yourself in that position to grab somebody and say, you'll never know. And a lot of people ain't willing to put themselves in that position. They might observe and not actually get to know. Like, a lot of people know me from my past. A lot of people never really knew. I've always been smart. Yeah. I just had anger problems and I was displaced. You know what I'm saying? I was disenfranchised and disassociated. Period. You know? But when they get to talking to me, they're like, even now, people are like, man, you went to prison?
Yeah, they be shocked by it.
Yeah, they be like, how long you spent? I said, man, I spent over 10 years in prison over the last 11 years. Yeah. I said, but I did 6.5 and 3.5. I was only out 6 months after my 3.5, and I went back and did 6.5 years. Dang. And they said, what? Yeah. They said, man, we would never even know. I said, I appreciate you, because there was one point in time where that's all the person could see for me. Mm-hmm. But, like I said, people don't know how to go and grab people no more. Like, back in the day, I was raised in the neighborhood. Yeah, you swear to people down the street was your cousin, ain't he? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because the way they would tear into you. You feel what I'm saying? For doing something wrong, walking on their grass, disrespecting somebody. Okay, so we were still doing bad.
But yeah. But you know what? Even with that, like now, it's like, don't touch my kids, don't tell nothing. Like the way I even feel about that, if you're telling my son right, I ain't mad at you. It don't have to be me. They'll be like, oh, let me tell him. Look, if you tell him something and it's correct, I ain't got a problem with it. You know
exactly,
what I mean?
Exactly. My son was playing outside one day, and the lady, my son met a friend out there. Yeah. And the lady comes and asks me, say, hey, can my son play down? She stays at the corner of the street, you know. And she comes and says, she said, hey, are you gonna be able to watch them? I was like, yeah, they fine. Yeah. I said, but I tell you what, he get to acting up, I'm gonna tear his ass in like it's mine. Yeah. And she goes, what? She's like, what you mean?
She want to cancel this meeting.
I said, right here, if you want me to watch him, I'm gonna protect him like he's my son. And then my son gonna get his ass torn until he gets doing something wrong. Yeah. So I hope your boy is potty trained. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We jump off the top rope around here.
And she's like, no, you need to call me. I said, I'll call you afterwards. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. But this is your choice. This is me letting you know. This is me being transparent. Yeah. This is me letting you know.
What's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen? Now it's your choice. You want to take your son with you or not? But my son already know how I am.
Yeah, you can cancel.
He's not gonna have a problem with. He be like, yeah, my daddy ain't gonna play. He looking at the boy like,
yeah, it's going down over here.
For real. You know what I'm saying? And so but when she came, she got mad. But when she came back and talked to me, I said, look, this is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you out love and understanding. Mm-hmm. If you want me to watch this child, this is my son for the moment. Mm-hmm. This ain't your son. If you went out to the street, you want me to save him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So if he get in trouble, allow me to this one. I ain't gonna do nothing crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Get power bomb.
Oh yeah, a little power bomb. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna talk to him. Yeah. I'm spread some understanding to him. Yeah. Whether you're giving to him or not, but I'm a firm believer that it takes a community to raise a child. Yeah. And that's something we lost. We got disenfranchised and disassociated. Older people got tired of dealing with the younger ones. And the younger ones don't want to ride out.